Hey, Lauren, thank you so much for making yourself available.
Hi, how are you? Thank you. You're welcome.
I'm very, very good. I'm thrilled to have you on. It's been a while. And why don't you just introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Lauren. My channel is iCrypto, and I do information about crypto, how to get started, and some technical things. But I also do the astrology of the crypto market, analyzing the crypto market with astrology, and I also analyze like the geopolitical atmosphere and world through astrology as well.
And just on that, you do personal readings for people,
Yes, I do
and
that too.
and I'll have all the links in the description below,
Mhm.
and people can find you and stuff. And then you also do like financial readings, and you got a Patreon where you give your tips and advice on crypto.
Yes, I do personal readings for finances. I'm currently restructuring my Patreon. So right now, I post reports that I make, but I don't have like you can't come in and join it yet. Like I said, I'm just restructuring that right now, just because
Okay,
the way I've been doing readings has changed, and I felt like I just needed to change how I was doing things. So, but I do offer personal readings. Yeah, and I'll
great.
include my links and everything.
Yes. And then you also do what's called mundane astrology, which is looking at, larger aspects, what's happening with a particular country or a politician or the world
Mm-hmm.
or something like that,
Yes,
right?
yes, I
So
do.
it's very, very useful. And you did a little mini reading for me that was offline, a private little reading, which I so appreciated. It was so spot on because what you told me was how come, like, my planetary aspects lead to what I do as a child protection social worker. And what I do as a child protection social worker is I go beyond the superficial and the immediately apparent, and I dig in, I dig in, I dig in. I've never met any parent who ever abused their child. They all say they don't, but I have to, whether they do or they don't, they all say they don't, right?
Yeah.
But I dig in and dig in and dig in.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the same way that I do my political analysis. And when you gave me that feedback, I was struck by how accurate it was. It's like, yeah, yeah, I do that. How do you know I do that? So that's great. And then we recently recorded a couple of videos with Alex Craner, including one where you did Keir Starmer's chart.
Mm.
And what you said about him was that he has no redeeming features.
No, he does not.
He has none. And then it's like, oh my God, so spot on.
Yeah, he's a bit of a character, I guess we'll say. Yeah, he's some not
Heartless.
so good qualities, we'll say.
Yeah, heartless. And where it really showed up was one when he met with, I mean, in many, many things, right? He met with Trump and with JD Vance.
Hmm.
We have freedom of speech. We're very proud of our freedom of speech. And then again, recently, he met with Trump. And this is after the Online Speech Act came in,
Oh,
which is incredibly censorious.
oh my gosh, it's having effects all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, he said to standing next to Trump, so no, we have freedom of speech. Barefaced lying like that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Irredeemable. And then there's what his government says that they're doing,
Hmm.
and this promoting business and doing this and doing that, and we're stopping the boats and all of that. And then what they're doing is crushing businesses, taxing everybody, organized trafficking of people,
Yeah, he's speaking out
all the
both
money
sides of
going
his
to
mouth.
war. Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
his chart is something else. It's really, and it shows. Like astrology doesn't lie. He really is. I guess we'll say a liar. you know,
yeah.
but yeah, he just says if I'm remembering his chart 100% correctly, he'll say whatever he needs to say, to make it look great. But then he does whatever else, in the background.
Yeah.
Lying is
What do you
part of
need to
it.
say to serve his nefarious
Hmm.
actions?
Yeah,
Okay.
terrible.
Okay, now why are we saying that? I'm saying that in order to I want people to get that one, Lauren's really good as an astrologer,
Thank you.
from my own experience, been accurate. Two, astrology is worth looking at. There's this whole thing, like, if this is the world of what happens, something happens in the world, and there's all sorts of ways of looking at that issue. You know, political analysis, financial analysis, sociology, psychology, ontology, but also you can add astrology to the mix as a science that has been largely hidden from our view, and when it has become apparent, smeared and ridiculed.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, it was used so much more back in history, and I'm not good with the dates, but it was used. I want to say before during like the 14 kings and queens, they all use it. Like it's been used forever. It's just like you said, it's being suppressed so people don't
Have
have
access to it.
the full knowledge, the full picture of things.
Yep. And millionaires don't use astrology.
Billionaires do.
Right, so you want to be a billionaire?
That's
Maybe that will help. None of this is financial advice, by the way.
right.
Now, what we're going to be looking at is the astrology of the Federal Reserve, because we've done the City of London, the Bank of England, and the ECB, and we did that with Alex Craner. So now you've done a chart on the Federal Reserve.
Yes, I have.
Way, Lauren.
Yes. So I'm gonna pull that up. It's pretty interesting looking at all these charts because they seem to have commonalities to them, like whether like certain placements of different planets or even more so just degrees of different things. It's like they all were using astrology to create their systems or things that they, wanted to create when the time, the date, the location of when they created these enterprises and things. So this is a chart of the Federal Reserve. Now I have as December 23rd, 1913, Washington, D.C., 6:02 p.m. I believe this is the correct time for the creation of the Federal Reserve. And the time is important because the moon could be off by a couple of degrees or two, and the ascendant. There's certain things that could be off that could also, so things won't not be as on point. But like I said, I believe I have the correct everything. And I'm using whole sign astrology in case anyone is interested. So the keywords that I have for, let me just move this over, for the Federal Reserve, it's aggressive, very secretive, dominant, money, and influential in monetary and emotions. That is the general, I would say the theme of their chart. Now, that's because of a couple of different things. All right, this ascendant's in the sign of Cancer. It's at 18 degrees. This is 18 and 22 degrees are critical degrees, we'll say. They signal to kill or be killed, not literally perhaps, but they're just very serious degrees and points in charts, and their ascendant at 18 degrees. And it's very synchronistic that they started the Federal Reserve because of the financial monetary system that was changing. Then they created this to make a new new monetary system, excuse me. So this 18 degrees I feel is very prominent because it's showing that they pretty much got rid of the old system and put in a new monetary system when they were created. They have Mars and Neptune here in the first house. Mars is right next to its ascendant. Ascendant is when the line, it's the horizon and where the sun was rising in the horizon at the time when the chart was created. So Mars is right on there, meaning it's very aggressive. They have very aggressive tendencies and qualities to this Federal Reserve. People, created it. They aggressively, they're the ones who do the the interest rates. They're the ones who dictate and direct the way monetary interest rates, everything is going. So they're very aggressive on how they have changed things, how they go about doing the things that they're doing. There's Neptune here. They could be doing other things in the background, but they have this illusion like quality to the Federal Reserve. Neptune is also at the degree, it's a Gemini energy quality, so meaning speaking, changing their minds, changing their policies, but also saying one thing and then doing another thing. And then we also, excuse me, let me say one other thing. The first ascendant in the first house is in the sign of Cancer, showing that they want to take care of, be like a parent, quote unquote, to the monetary system. You know, I don't want to be in control of it, but they want to be like the controller, the authoritative. Think of like a mother taking care of her children. Like they want to be the one to, I guess, look like, you know, they're taking care of the people, taking care of the country, the money for the people. Very, I want to say motherly like quality, but it's not in the sense of like, I love you type of mother, but more like I take care of you. You do this for me because
Like a
I take
witch
care
or
of you.
a matriarch.
Right. Type of energy with the Cancer in the first house.
Now, Lauren, let me ask you because I'm thinking of something, right? This seems accurate. You're describing the qualities of the Federal Reserve accurately, but could it not be argued that you're actually retrofitting the chart? Because we all know what the Federal Reserve is about. You
You're
know, we know.
100% correct. Yeah. I mean, I would say that Lilith would be one of the biggest signals of the Federal Reserve. Lilith, secretive. I'd say it's like it could be like a revenge type of quality, very kind of like vindictive, like it wants their way no matter what. They'll do whatever they have to do to get their way.
Sounds a lot like Keir Starmer as well.
Yeah, I know. Similar qualities. With Lilith here, it's
Now,
suspicious.
what is Lilith? Is that another planet or a star? Or...
Lilith is okay, it's a point in the sky. Oh, gosh. No, it's not a planet. It's not an asteroid. It's a measurement from the moon. I think it's between the Earth and the moon. It's like a certain measurement and point, like in the sky, where
Right.
Lilith is. And with Lilith here, Midhaven is the public life, how the public sees the Federal Reserve. So with Lilith here, it's showing that the public is suspicious of them because they seem to have this strange agenda, like quality. Like they're very hidden, they're very secretive. And the
Mm.
public, you could see that the public does think that with Lilith here. Very people are always very suspicious of the Federal Reserve. You know, not sure what their true motives, their true intentions are. The Midhaven is at 0 degrees of Aries. It's called like the world degree, world axis, meaning when things are here, if there's transits or points or planets or the Midhaven, it shows a sign of global collective changes. When this was created, this was at a point in time when the monetary system was changing. So yes, you know, I could be looking at this knowing what the Federal Reserve is, but the fact that certain points, degrees, and planets are in certain places, it's reflecting, truly like reflecting and showing that, yes, this is what the Federal Reserve is about, you know, because we do know what I guess, to an
Yeah.
extent, we kind of know what it's about. But it's just, its chart is reflecting what they are projecting to the world.
Right. So, like, the chart is validating
Yes, that's a better
what
word,
we already know
validating.
about the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Just like your reading of me as a social worker validated what I already know about what I do as a social worker.
Right. Yep.
And then I can see on your notes, does things with their own agenda, not taking consideration of others,
Oh, yeah.
selfish,
Mm-hmm.
public does not trust them.
No, they don't. They really don't. And, you know, Aries here being the Midhaven degree and with Mars here in the first house, it's very aggressive tendencies and behaviors that they have. You
Right.
know, wanting to have, I would say, global dominance or, you know, world control might be another good word to describe them.
Okay.
Very powerful. And one other thing is, too, is Uranus here in the eighth house. Uranus is, gosh, what is it? It's
Sudden change,
finances, but it is institutional finances.
right? But
So
also sudden changes as well, right?
Uranus, yes, sudden changes. And again, there was a sudden change in the monetary financial system. And with Uranus here, it is, again, it's reflecting and showing that they came in, they did this sudden change, like, at night on Christmas Eve. They came in, they changed things. And with Uranus here, it also showing, to me, as I'm looking at this chart, it's also showing almost what their agenda is to, I guess we could say, try to take things over, have the global type of dominant of finances. And
Right.
with Uranus here, it's at 5 degrees. That's a degree that represents Leo energy. That's like king, royalty type of energy. So I guess we could say that they want to be like kings, the leaders, who they want. It's like they want everybody to come to them, to answer to them.
Okay. Next.
The moon's very important. It's the emotions. The moon is in the fifth house in Scorpio. Scorpio is another financial sign. And the fifth house is also another financial house. There's signs and there's houses. Okay, so there's two different things. But a financial sign is in a financial house. Very finance, top heavy, and oriented, their chart is as well. And the fifth house has to do with money, trading, gambling. It could be debts as well, but it's gambling. They're gambling with the people's money, with the finances. It could also show hidden motives because of Scorpio. It's a very hidden, secretive type of sign. The energy and the emotions that they convey are secretive and do have hidden, again, agendas. And this is also, fifth house is also risk taking, speculation. The fifth house is also how you show your creativity, how how their creative is with money, with their, I guess we'll say, gambling of financial influence over people. That's how they show that's how they're creative, is through the finances and the financial system. Uranus in the eighth house. Okay, I did go over this. And I did say money like a king. They, again, they came in the, we'll say, the middle of the night. It was 6 o'clock in the evening, but they made this vote to change the entire financial monetary system in a way of like a king, almost like, a king doesn't answer to anybody. It does whatever it wants. So we could say with the Federal Reserve coming into being, it was done in a way that was like a king. Like they said, okay, they voted on it, but it's like, we're making this change. This is what it is. And now you people will all have to answer to us for this monetary system. Um, yeah,
Now,
it's very
when it
secretive.
was when it was created, and my understanding is it was created by the British as a way of exerting control over the US dollar.
Yes, I have heard of that actually.
Yeah. And of course, Britain is a constitutional monarchy,
hmm
but the crown has more power than people acknowledge or know about.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes. Yeah.
So, so that fits what you're saying from an astrological perspective. Not answerable to anyone because the president can't sack the chair of the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve is an independent private corporation
hmm
that's owned by six banks.
That's right.
And it lends
Yes.
money to the United States. And the income tax came in with the Federal Reserve,
Yep.
which had the effect of creating debt slaves out of American citizens. And then how that fits in. And if people want to know more about this, they should watch my videos with E.M. Burlingame. How that fits in is, and also Promethean Action, what they say is the British model is one of financial extraction, going to other countries of the world, financializing their resources and extracting them, which is what the Federal Reserve has been doing. It's been extracting the labor
Mm-hmm.
Americans.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. Wow. That that definitely
Mhm.
fits this model here
Yep.
of how there were. And again, it was the British who came in and did create this. People being suspicious of them because they are very secretive, and especially with Neptune here in this first house, very illusion. It's like they're putting up this illusion of what they are. I can't remember England's chart right now. But something they have something in Cancer that's very important to the chart, and I don't remember what it is. It's just similar how the Federal Reserve has Cancer, where the ascendant is a very important point in the chart, and it just would say that would be like linking in this chart with the England's chart. And I don't remember off the top of my head why Cancer was so important in their chart, but I know it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Um,
Moving on.
and Saturn is actually this is pretty important. Restrictions in restrictions, laws, rules, regulations. It's in the 12th house. It's shaping people's minds, how they think, their psychological behaviors towards money, towards finances. Money is a psychological, can be very psychological to people, depending on how people view money. People can have poverty mentality or different types of ways they look at it, but they seem to shape people's uh, what they believe about money, which is what they do as well, because they're doing the interest rates and everything else. So they're the ones that are the behind the scenes making the rules and regulations, really having a huge influence on people's mental state of minds with money.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Controlling from behind the scenes.
Yeah. And I can see in the like secret planning.
Yeah. So the current trends right now, so that was their chart when they were created. But right now, I forgot that I even wrote this up. Saturn and Neptune are right next to the top of their chart. That is, it could be dissolving past judgments. Their accountability could be coming up into being taken, looked at more so. There could be things maybe coming out about the Federal Reserve that, like secrets, hidden secrets about the Federal Reserve. But on the other side of that, they could be trying to implement stricter, I could say rules, regulate. They could be coming more stricter and tighter on money. I'm not sure if they would be raising the inflation, but they're trying to have more of a tighter control of the finances as
Right.
as a result of them maybe starting to lose control of the finances. Things are kind of all a little bit crazy with finances all around the world, so they could be trying to hold on to their power, but also being looked at with more of a magnifying glass to understand who they truly are, like what they're truly about. Oh, and Saturn and Neptune are squaring in their chart, squaring their sun and Pluto. So there could be international and domestic disputes regarding finances, regarding the money, regarding the monetary policies, how it affects the United States here and internationally. There could be just, and there already are headlines coming out about different things, but it could be causing more scrutiny, more issues regarding United States' finances and how it's influencing, the world finances. Could be some challenges regarding money. And again, there already are those things coming up into play. But also, I said Federal Reserve under review, possible hidden secrets coming to light, possibly exposing different things about the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
So,
credibility is under attack for sure.
yeah. So,
Right.
yeah.
That,
And as a result, they could be trying to expand their policies. I did have increasing interest rates to try to gain control over things again, but I could see them really being under a microscope, and I don't want to say taken down or taken out, because I feel like if that were to happen, some large event were to have to occur in order for the Federal Reserve to not be the Federal Reserve any further.
wow. Okay.
So,
All right, Lauren, thank you. Fabulous. One of the things that struck me about what you said, apart from how accurate you described the Federal Reserve and picked out current, the accuracy of the current trends as well, is how much work you put into that. And I know that you did similar when you did a little private reading for me, which was a gift you gave me. I really, really appreciate it. And it was the same deal for the videos on the ECB and the Bank of England
Hmm.
and on Keir Starmer. And I'm saying this because you know, I was, and I've said this before in videos about astrology, I was willing to consider there could be such a thing as that digital money could have value. Willing to consider that. And willing to consider that Bitcoin could be a viable form of digital money when I first came across it. And if I'd been close to it and not been willing to consider, well, then I wouldn't have discovered the benefits that Bitcoin provides. And it's the same deal with astrology that at the very, very least, I recommend you be willing to consider and try it out. And there's many, many astrologers on YouTube that you can test out and stuff. And I've kept you and watching, of course, Lawrence. Lauren, I've kept you informed about what happens with Asha the astrologer, how each time I give her an altcoin and she doesn't
It
know
gets
what it
me.
is. And each time she describes it accurately,
Yep.
just using
The charts don't
astrology,
lie.
quite something. So I'll have the links to Lauren in the description below, and I recommend, you know, go try it out, go get a reading, go gift a reading to somebody if you anything you want to say to finish up, Lauren.
Um, no, that's about it. You know, like I said, the charts that they really don't lie, and it really, I feel, just really reflects the intent of the Federal Reserve and just how they operate at a deeper level. Yeah, so that's it.
Thank you. Well, I look forward to having you back on at some point soon, and we can look at some other major issue. And everybody who's watching, please comment. Give me your comments. What do you think of this? Please share, please like. Oh, and get a VPN if you're, especially if you're in the UK,
Oh gosh, yeah,
before they make it illegal.
I know.
All right. It's Crypto Rich and I Crypto signing out. All the best. Bye
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.
Like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind.